Welcome to Fifth Dimensional Life, Mass Human Awakening. I'm Lise, your host. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to be discussing synchronicities, 1111, angel numbers, all of that. Why you get that? What does it mean? All the things. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I discuss everything about extraterrestrials, about our universe, this world, all the things for helping you awaken and along your journey. So let's deep dive into synchronicities. You may have had it randomly when you are just like busy doing something. You look over at the clock and it's 11:11 or 2:22 or 12:12 or 4:44. It's these repeating numbers, recurring numbers, and not just from the clock, but it can be also on the speedometer. It can be on when you buy something at the store. You can see the total amount of what you're purchasing is there. Or if you want to buy something for a long time online or wherever it is, and then the total comes to like 4:44 or 22:22. These are the spirit world connecting with you. And it's an easy way for them to communicate with you through numbers. And repeating numbers is a really good indication that this is a message. It's not a coincidence. 1111 is a very beautiful, holy number. And it really means like you are on your right track. And it is a genuine sign that there is something communicating with you, whether that's your higher self or a family member or someone who's passed over. And it can also be from living people too, because we have the ability to send loving thoughts or unloving thoughts to people. So, and obviously angels too, all of that. So I really like to look into angel numbers. Often I've been using this probably for over a decade. Ones typically like around intuition, keep following your intuition, you're on the right path. 222 is you're in the right place at the right time, trust in where you are at this moment. 333 is at an equilibrium. Don't neglect one for the other, just find the balance of mind, body, spirit. And 444, I see this one so much. This is probably the one that I see the most, and it's for protection. Universe and spiritual guides are protecting me. Pay attention to my thoughts and environment when I see this number. So I'm always reminded to be aware. It's increasing my awareness and know that I'm divinely guided and protected. 555 is change. Change is about to occur, or it is occurring. The universe is moving things forward for change. 666 is the step back. And a lot of people think, oh, this is a demonic number, it's evil. No, it doesn't. There's duality that exists in everything. There is benevolent side and malevolent side. There's masculine side and feminine side. And there's also the middle in between too. So 666, it doesn't have to automatically be evil. It can be a really important signal for you to just take a step back and rethink, speak or think before you speak in a lot of ways. Like just relook at the things that you're doing and think things through again. It's a really important lesson. 777, again, this one is usually always thought of like the God number, and it is in a lot of sense, but it has a dual side to it, where maybe you are holding a lot of fear and you need to release that fear and be strong and go into your heart center and go forward into the future with that. So it is like bringing your inner strength out. And it's really, really important to let go of the fear while you're doing so, because you can potentially even get caught up in that fear. So like we all do. It's natural as a human to do that. So 888 is the balance. This one also I find a lot around like money, or 48 is a lot of like abundance too. 888, you're in harmony with the universe. Your thoughts, actions are also in harmony. So that's a nice sign. When you think of it in the benevolent, loving side. 999, it's the wrap up time to start a new journey, things like tie up all the loose ends, and let go of what doesn't serve you, or serving your higher purpose. Prepare for what's next and release the old, bring in the new. So those are some examples of what these mean. Some things will resonate with you, some things won't. We're all unique and different. We all have unique and different past lifetimes and history and all of that. There's so many different, like endless combinations of numbers that you can have come to you. So, if there is a number that you're seeing often, or maybe it's a number from like a bill that you got, or the time that something happened at, it is always signaling something to you. There's also gematria, that I could do a whole another video on, and this is how numerical values can relate to a belief system, words, have other values to it as well. So, which actually sounds a lot like synchronicities, because technically it is a type of synchronicity, but gematria is used by both benevolent and malevolent sides to rig certain things in their favor. So whether that's like a basketball game, or 9/11, like certain events that happen at certain dates and certain times, and that goes into like astrology as well, where the planetary alignments bring in a certain amount of like really powerful energies. It's super fascinating, but also pretty freaky when you deep dive into a lot of like the gematria stuff. So I like to keep it light though, and keep it in the light, loving side, higher vibration, just to pick me up, because there's a lot of things that bring me down here. So let's like bring it up, keep it high vibe. So this is when synchronicities come. Sometimes they come over and over and over and over again, and you're like, what does it really mean? Like, should I be looking into this? Here are some signs, like you shouldn't ignore these. So if you're seeing the repeating numbers all the time, that's a big wake up call. Look into the number, look into the situation that is happening. What is it exactly? Seeing the same animals over and over again. Pretty well all of like the indigenous cultures, they have animals are symbols. When I lived in Australia, it was really fascinating. One of the indigenous tribes there, they had this like whole chart. I think you can probably still find it online, where animals, they would have these specific meanings. And when a koala bear or something would come over, they would like, the tribe would be like, oh, okay, this rain is coming or something like that, and then they would prepare things, and then the rain would come, and then they'd see this like fox or something, or some sort of like dingo, and they'd be like, oh, this person needs my help. And they would have like all these really amazing communications just through animal sightings and footprints in the sand or things like that. And absolutely amazing. It really like blew my mind. And in Canada, we have so many different animal meetings and things like that too. It's just really beautiful how we're able to like connect in with animals, and animals are gateways of communication from the other side too. Having deja vu, there's no coincidences. If you're not familiar with deja vu, it's like something happens and then it happens again, or you just something like a situation happens and you're like, I've been here before, or I've experienced this thing happening to me before. I get deja vu all the time, like at least once a week or more. Because as like a clairvoyant, like I have my clairvoyant abilities open up. I've had them like since I was young. I don't know. I think they've probably always been open. I just have, chosen to ignore them or suppress them throughout my life because you don't fit into society when you're like, oh, I can see this thing happening, or oh, I can see like a dinosaur walking through this field. You get pointed out as a weird kid pretty fast. So deja vu is a really cool experience. So I do enjoy having it. And a lot of times when I do have a deja vu experience, in that moment, I can see other things that are about to come too. So if I have a deja vu moment, I will like really like stop everything that I'm doing and really deep dive, tap into it if I have the ability to. If it's like quiet enough and I don't have too many distractions around, I'll take advantage of that deja vu moment to look further into it and see even more things that are coming, which is always fun, but also kind of scary sometimes. Thinking of someone and then seeing him or her or receiving a phone call from them, again, happens to me all the time. And a lot of times, like if I'm waiting for payment from a client or a client to call me, or a friend that I haven't seen in a long time, I will send them just so much loving energy. And then they'll come into my life or send me a message or send the payment through or something like that. Try it out. It really, really does work. It's really amazing. Thinking of an old song, then it immediately plays on the radio or something like that. That happens all the time. All of these things. I'm like, yep. Hearing the answer to a question that bothers you from a random stranger. This happened to me like last week. These people were talking and I was like, oh my gosh, do you know about, because I've been looking into like lymphatic drainage recently and like lymph node cleanses and stuff. And then randomly I was like out at this event and I just overheard some people talking about it, and they're like, yeah, we have this like full lymphatic drainage system thing, this cleanse and all these like tools. So it was just very, very uncanny. Again, it's just like, oh, okay. Thank you, universe, for sending these people into my life, exactly answering the questions that I had. So again, pay attention to those things. And we humans, we are always manifesting all the time. We are never not manifesting. And it's so easy to forget that we are manifesting all the time too. So be careful what you ask for, but also like acknowledge, like trust in the universe and say, okay, I need this thing to come into my life, and believe in it. Put it out to the universe with positive, loving vibration, and it will come back to you. No doubt about it. And then something that reminds you of a dream that you had last night. Dreams, we are always having communication through. We're always learning so much. It is really like a deep dive into our subconscious mind. And it's a shame that we forget it so quickly. But thank God for hypnotherapy and astral travel, remote viewing, the Akashic records, all of that, where we can like uncover a lot of those things. And if you have the ability to have a dream journal, or even just like record, like do voice recordings when you wake up, that's a great way of recording your dreams and kind of mapping out your subconscious mind. All right. And here's another link. It just kind of goes into like synchronicities, what the purpose of them is for serendipitous encounters. So And again, if you've had a spiritual awakening or many spiritual awakenings, I've definitely had like many of them. I'm still having like these big awakening moments, especially with like the far sight videos that I've been watching. This is part of your self-transformation, and part of enlightenment is following these synchronicities, realizing them. Synchronicities are ingrained in us and in nature. There's the solfeggio frequencies. There's also like all these patterns, the sacred geometry patterns. It really, yeah, they are like these little breadcrumbs for us to follow, and for us to be validated, for us to get lessons, receive messages. There's so many ways that these can be done and communicated through. They are very subtle though. So it's training for you to have your awareness opened up to seeing these very subtle things. So yeah, that's my little spiel on synchronicities. I hope this has enlightened you, and that you have an amazing day, and just wishing you such love, abundance, and enlightenment, joy on your journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.